What does it take to change the world? It takes a long chain of resilient men and women, endowed with various skill sets and divergent mindsets, holistically working together to achieve a common goal. It is a synergetic effect of different art forms combining into one to think, design, and create mind-blowing stories. A systematic workflow and processes from department to another. A set of professional tools and elements designed to create and fine-tune. It takes persistence, consistency, and collaboration to tell compelling stories, to evoke emotions, and to change the world. We have designed a one-stopover center online with all the seasoned creatives from all the realms of the film industry. Together, we can. We are the Film Hackers.
Welcome to the Film Hackers Talk Show. Today we're here to analyze season 1, to talk about the things that were not digested, but most importantly to get the feedback from the audience out there. We would like to know what are some of the things that you'd like us to discuss in season 2, but also to give us a proper picture on some of the things that you face as challenges in the industry. It's very important for us to get feedback from you people because we do not do this show for ourselves, but we do it to make the industry better. How do we contribute to the industry that we want to see, where people are paid very well, where things are moving professionally? So as a person watching out there, I would like you to go on the comments, give in all your comments there. Tell us the things that you would like to see being talked about on the platform on season 2. We're going to take a break and be able to revamp the show, make it bigger and better like never before, come up with other new things that we can talk about and make sure the show is impactful to people. Like I've said, we don't do this show for ourselves, but we do it for the listeners out there, but also sensitize the audience on who does what, where do you go when you need this, how do you seek for funding, stuff like that. So it's very important to have your feedback. We started this platform years ago, like last year, and the reasons why we started the Film Hackers platform is to empower the young content creators out there, the people who are getting into the industry and the ones that are already in the industry. It is very important to empower them because when you empower them, you'll be able to make a better industry, and more importantly, you'll be able to create jobs for young people out there. With me on this panel, I have Josh the Fixer, who tends to be a producer, a director, and a graphic designer. Welcome to the show, Jen.
Thank you.
On the other side, I have Sean, who happens to be a producer, director, and he works with NTV. And the reasons why we gathered here today, would like to talk about some of the things. I think that among the topics that we've discussed from, from social media marketing, how do you promote your brand as an actor and an actress, how do you deal with sound? There are key elements or key topics that stood up. Things to do with how do you budget for a project. I feel it's very, very important for the people that are doing it right now and the people that are getting into the industry to know how to budget for the projects. Because one day or the other, you're going to meet in the same boardrooms where Josh is charging for X amount of money and Sean is also charging for X amount of money, and the client will ask themselves like, is this the person, does this person know what he's doing, or this person is trying to steal my money? So I would like to start with you, Josh. When let's say you're working on a TV commercial or a documentary, how do you quote for it? How do you justify that this project is going to cost this amount of money, and this is the reason as to why?
Thank you. Video work is quite special, I should say, because it requires a lot of customer education around so many things. A client can call you and tell you what they want, plus their cost, you know, and then you get deflated a bit, but it's up to you to actually educate the client that the way video is done, there are so many intricacies in between. Equipment, labor, so much. But it all boils down to three things, which is quality, time, and cost. You know? And you have to remember, you don't have all the three.
It's true.
You only get two. One, if it's cheap and good quality, it will take time. Okay? If it's quick and good quality, okay,
It will be expensive.
it will be expensive. The third one is, if it's quick and cheap, it will be poor quality. So this is a decision we have to make between me and the client. So that's what informs personally and my video in business, my costing. When do you want it? How good do you want it? Yes.
Okay. So let me get to you, Sean. How do you cost for, let's say, if today you're going to work on a TV show, how do you cost for that? Even if it's a commercial or a documentary, how do you cost for that?
Okay, thank you. Costing for a TV show or a documentary or a TVC, I think just to vary a little bit from what he has, without necessarily taking away all the basics, all those basics will be in. That's the first stage. But the other part is most likely going to be, because TV and probably documentary work is a business. It's something I've said on the show before. We'll also need to incorporate certain things that are not as easy to understand to the customer, but they have to be part of it. One of them is that the reason you walk to Josh Fixer is because it's a business. The reason you walk to TVY is because it's a business. So by nature, by default, it will always have what you call the percentage share that allows it to make a profit. So that has to be in. And one of the ways which I communicated even last time, I said, many of these companies will not cost equipment and labor, because in a TV setting, unlike let's say a production house out there, a production house has the advantage of saying that I'm going to hire a sound guy and a person X, and they come and do work on a set. Now for the TV setting, it's quite different. I already have stock. I mean, I have editors in the setup. I have a couple of people that have been hired, and they are either on a retainer or they are on a payment schedule where they are paid every day. Now, for TV, what they do is that much as, yes, Joshua, the client, you've walked in and you want our service, much as, yes, I have the equipment and the people, I will actually charge them. I will actually cost those, because at the end of the day, the equipment will not pay for itself. 5-6 years down the road, the camera that I bought so expensively will break down. It probably has been insured. Now, those are a few things that some people miss, and sometimes a client will look at it and say, but I thought you have these things, why are you charging me for them? And then I'll have to explain that, look here, these things didn't buy themselves, and they will not repo themselves down the end of the road. You walked into the station because you found these existent. The section of the profit usually comes in that way, because every business, I'm not going to shy away from it. You will have to make money.
Exactly.
And last time I said, if you are starting TV startup or something, you may probably look at a 30%. As you grow, most of these businesses around, I think, are running at about a 70%. And then you have that top A-class guys who are charging, let's say, 70%. So it's basically saying, if I find my production costs are going to include all the people that are going to be on your crew, let's say it's a TV series, I'll charge for a producer, I'll charge for a director, I'll charge for my crew of 5 cinematographers or camera guys, I'll charge for the sound guy, I'll charge for the equipment that's going to be on your set. If I am providing the studio set like this, then I'm going to charge for the studio space because it has, things of maintenance, electricity and stuff. And then I'll give you a total charge, of course, VAT inclusive. So it's up to you, really. There are people who move those costs and include them, say, a 50% or 30% on each of the items. There are other people who will create it as an administrative cost or whichever way. But at the end of the day, I think I've found that there are clients who have come to understand it's actually part of the business, and it's okay. Because the last thing you want to do as a TV station or even a business who is doing documentaries is to pick money from Shafiq and hand it over straight to it. You'll be a pipeline. And a few years down the road, the business won't run. Yeah.
But sometimes, just to maybe shed some light, there are clients who don't want to pay for equipment, and you can't chase them away. They want to pay you as if you are Uber driver, okay? I charge you, the car is mine. Okay, not Uber driver, maybe special hire. The car is mine, okay? And then you pay me the journey, pay for the journey. I've driven you for this distance of kilometers and whatever, and I give you 20K. So it's up to me to determine, okay, how much of this 20K goes to oil? How much of this 20K goes to maintenance, service, or whatever it is? So there are clients who think like that. But I've always also been so vocal around explaining. Video people in our sector, I don't want to call it an industry because it's not big yet. Video people in our sector do not want to educate clients. Clients have money, make reason, okay, as to why they're spending. Other than hiding away, they're going to treat us like Uber drivers. Yeah, why are you taking me from here to there? Okay, from here to there is, but the car takes oil, water, whatever it is, liquid coolant, it needs to be maintained, it needs to be washed, as in so much. So we have to educate customers. And the education is simple. Quality, time of production, and cost. That is how things happen. If you want it quick and good quality, because they come to your office, or my office, or to his, and guess what they show you? They show you a music video or a brand video of another company. For example,
Posted over millions of
exactly. They're like, can we do something like this?
a replica of this.
Yeah. And they're like, okay, when do you want it? And they say, how's Wednesday next week? They're like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Now, if you want it Wednesday next week, and what you've showed me, in my experience, I know it costs 100 million, I'm going to tell you, okay, that's like 150. Okay? Because I'm going to stop everything that I'm doing, put a team together for you, put equipment together for you to produce next Wednesday. Now, the kicker is you say, no, that's a lot of money. I'm like, okay, how much can you afford? This is like a typical conversation. Then they're like, can you just remove? That's one of them, but they go like, can we just at least remove 1 0? That leaves you with 1.5, okay? And then you're like, okay, I need the business. Can we push it next month? You understand? Now you're calculating quality, cost, time, okay? If it is quick and cheap, it's bad quality, okay? If it's, what did I write? If it's cheap and good quality, it will take you time. So we have to educate customers around costing of video and where these things come from. Yeah, rather than blanketing everything. Otherwise, we're like Uber drivers.
I think I get these questions every time I meet like the people who are getting into the industry and even those that are in industry. And I feel so bad that the people who have this kind of information cannot share like this kind of information.
We we inherited something that maybe wasn't so structured, which is okay, but the clients are not to blame. We are to blame.
Yes.
Yes. But I educate my customers.
And we also
I
provide
never
the
leave my
solution.
customer the way I found them.
Yes.
Even if we don't work together, the next time they call me, they know why they are paying for A, B, C, D. Yes.
I think today I would like to take this opportunity to demystify the secrets behind costing. And I want people out there to know what is it like to cost for a documentary, a TV commercial, or a film. And this information, I know very many people are going to get pissed, but I think for the better of the industry, yeah, I know. For the better of the industry, I think it's very important to share this kind of information, because the person who told me this, who happens to be my mentor, gave me this document, and it changed the way I see everything. And that was Peter Mchibi of Admire. And ever since I landed on that document, it has really helped me. It is what I've used. Then alongside picking other quotations from different countries, you work on a project from UK and see how they quote. You also work on a project from US, you see how they quote. Usually out there, it's a standardized kind of format. DOP, this is the amount of money. Cameras, this is the amount of money. So here in Uganda, you find that Josh is charging 12 million for a project. A person X, Eddie, who is coming into the industry, will
Let's
charge...
use Kapele.
Let's use Kapele. Kapele, who is coming, Kapele, who is coming in the industry, is going to cost for the same video at 3 million. Now, when the clients receive these quotations and they say, this guy is asking for 12 million, this one is asking for 3 million. Now, between these two people, there is one who knows what they are doing, or another who doesn't know what they are doing. Or better, they both know what they're doing, but others are not doing it on a professional basis.
There's a meme around that these days. There's always someone who's willing to do it cheaper.
Yes, there's always someone who is willing to do it cheaper.
Yeah.
I have sorry to interrupt.
Quality and time doesn't matter.
In the same regard, I'm thinking, without necessarily placing,
Wait, were you going to show us something?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, all right.
Okay, because I was going to ask, maybe to help the generation and the younger people out there, with his basic, if we created what you call in the middle, not because very few people want to deal with the very short and cute and expensive. So first leave those guys up and leave the guys below out and look for the guys in the middle. And then we probably could slash around on the set and say what should be the bare minimum for a TVC, for a documentary, for a TV series, for a movie.
I think when you look at this document that I'm about to share, this is what happens. Okay. It's very hard to put a block figure on a commercial or on a documentary. Usually it's determined by how many days you're going to be shooting, how many days you're going to be editing, and include sound, graphics, buying music, that copyrighted music, blah, blah, all that kind of stuff. So when I say I'm going to speak as a business person, a businessman, not a cinematographer, not a director, not a producer, but a businessman. You have a team of over 8 people that have to get paid at the end of the month. Now, every job that comes in has to make a business sense. Just like any other business, even the clients that are giving us work, they have these systems in place. But sometimes we are taken for granted because most of people don't know the things. You get?
What is business sense in this case?
The business sense is this. When I'm going to quote for the project, I don't care whether you're a small client or whether a big client, don't quote me wrong, I'm so passionate about this whole thing, but that passion has to be fueled so that I can keep doing what I'm doing and to improve myself.
The reason I'm asking is, as you're putting a business together, you have to think about the other arms, the support functions, the marketing, everything else. So do you ever do jobs for awareness purposes? Does that make business sense?
I think me as a person, there is a way I do marketing, and my marketing is not that so aggressive that I'll go out there and put out stuff. There is a way I do because I look for a particular client. You see, in businesses, what we call market segmentation, where you say, I'm selling my avocados, but I'm selling them to people who have money. And say, I'm selling my avocado at 5,000. It's very good, it's good quality. When you find when it has anything rotten, bring it back. I'll give you 2 of those. That means I'm assuring you of quality. So, I mean, very many people have different business model and it works for them. But today, I want to talk about what works for me as a person. When I receive a brief, usually a brief from a client on what the project is all about, I'll sit down and I would like this information to be presented on the screen. I'll quote for everything, starting from equipment, that is camera, lapels, tripod, slider dollies, drone. If I need a jib, it will be there. Every list of equipment will be there. Even if I have that equipment in-house, I'll have to quote for it. Because when it goes out and it breaks, I will have to buy it again. Or think about the situation that you got money from the bank to buy that piece of equipment. It has to bring their money back, money back.
You lost 2 drones on one project.
Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about. So when I'm quoting, I'll quote for camera this amount of money. I'll put this. I think I'll put this document online so that people can be able to see what I'm talking about. So I'll quote for camera. Let's say camera goes for 300,000. I'll put in there. I'll put in a tripod. I'll put in a set of lapel. I'll put in boom. I'll put in a dolly. I'll put in a drone. I'll put in a gimbal. Now that is for equipment. Whether I have it or not, that money has to be there. Even if I'm picking it from Solo or Patrick or from Net Studio, I'll make sure that that money is in there. Now, we have standard price for the equipment. You know that a Blackmagic Asa Mini will cost within 300 to 500, depending on how many lenses that you're taking on it. That's put aside. Then let's go.
Rental prices.
Yeah, they're rental prices.
Yeah.
So let's go to post-production. Post-production, we're talking about editing, graphics, color grading, and mastering of audio. I'll start with editing. I would say this project is going to cost us, or it's going to take 5 days to edit. Now, each day of editing, depending on the scope of work, whether it's a TV commercial, whether it's a documentary, that is like 500,000 per day of editing. Sure. You get. Now, when you start breaking those things down, so editing 500,000, so times the 5 day, the figure you get is the money that you have to pay. Color grading, it will take me 3 days to do the color grading. This is how much it cost. You put the cost there. When you go to music and scoring, whether you're going to customize the music from scratch, I call a couple of friends, the likes of Kaz Kasozi, Andrew Ahura, and say, this is the budget that I have for music. I put that. You get. Now, we talk about graphics. So we talk about things like sketching, if there are illustrations. We talk about modeling. We talk about lighting. We talk about rendering. Sometimes you have those beefy projects like the ones that you do and you can't even render them on your machine. So, So you either code for online render or you just code for that render. So that's post-production. Those are the 3 processes of editing, color grading, graphics, and mastering of audio. All that money is put there. Now, most of people do that. Now, that money that you're doing, for example, you have a team of 8 people. That is money to facilitate all those people. So as a business, how do you make a profit? So out of that whole figure from the editing, from shooting, how many days of shooting, equipment and everything, and post-production, I'll put a certain percentage. Professional fees. It could be 30%, it could be 90%, it could be 50%, whatever it is. For me, this is how it has worked. There are times when you do work for a client and they've given you little money and you say, oh my God, this is great work. I think this client would have paid for more. So I'll put, as years have passed by, basing on my experience, I started out with very shitty work. Then you keep on upgrading, you know the kind of work that you're doing, it's high-end stuff and its value, then you start giving a percentage. I may not share the percentage of what you...
But this is a system that I think someone watching there can borrow.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of this discussion.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. Uh-huh.
Yes. So on that figure, let's say documentary is, let's say, 30 millions. On that figure, I won't say my figure, I'll put a 10%, a 20%. But mark my words for the audience that is watching there. These percentages that you put and these figures that you put on this amount of money, they should reflect in that kind of production. Do not quote for projects and say, I'm charging with, after all these quotes that I'm making, I'll put like a 30% percentage for a business side of money, for the professional fees. Whatever quote that you're quoting, please, I'm kindly begging you, for the better of the industry, you need to make sure that the money that you're talking about is reflected in the looks of the works. You get? I've seen guys who are doing amazing work, and you look at this work and be like, yeah, whatever amount of money they paid them, it's worth it. So don't just put these figures in for the sake of just you making money as a person, but the money has to reflect in the production that you're doing.
Yes, production is like farming.
It's like farming. So if you...
The previous product determines how much you're getting the next one.
So if you wake up in the morning and they tell a client that, you know what, I'm going to bring a Red, don't bring a Pocket, or don't bring a Samini Pro or a Sony. Because some of these clients know the things. You said we're bringing a Red, and when you don't bring it, you're just compromising your integrity. So I may sound like I'm giving a katwa to people out there, but this is something that I've used for the past like 12 years that I've been in the industry. Why? Like, as you're passionate, as you're creative, you're going to reach at a certain table, at a certain point A, when you have to grow. So you're not going to grow by just having skills of animation, skills of doing graphics. You need money to sustain the business. You have overheads that are not visitors, that are there on a monthly basis that you have to get paid. So every job that comes in, it has to count. And these are things that the people who know these things don't want to share with the industry. You get? Whether it's a film, for example, a guy made a sense of like, okay, Shafiq, you want to get into TV series and you want to do TV series, yes. Okay, what's your budget? I'm like, I can do everything. I have all the equipment, I can edit. But how about people's salaries? You're going to work on a project and it's going to take you for like 3 months. So before you do all these things, you need to have proper projections and say, I'm doing this project, yes. How much money am I making out of this project? Now, it's okay for you. When I was starting out, I could charge money that I could feel. I could charge, give me like 2 million, give me like 1 million. As you go on, you start getting people around you, a team that needs to get paid. That's when you start taking it as a business. And for me today, it's so relieving to share this information with out there, because the people who have this kind of information don't want to share it. So I won't say name, but this is what it does. Josh, today you're going to quote for 30 millions, 50 millions in terms of advert. Yes. A young, how did you call them? A young couple from nowhere is going to go in the same boardroom to quote at the same job that you've quoted at 50 millions at 10 millions, if not 5.
I don't know if this is, I don't know how much time we have though, but the whole idea around pricing is a business conversation.
Yeah.
Put art on the side. Art is very technical. Business is also another thing.
Yes.
So The Kapere who's just starting, he's coming in with passion and hunger. Not the hunger to do, but hunger in the stomach. Okay? He knows there is, and it's okay, we've all been there, and I'm not criticizing Kapere out there. Let him, he just has to know that that little cost he puts on production is limiting him as a business.
Yes.
Okay?
And there will not
So,
be
yes, he has to take time and understand the business side of production. Otherwise, if he doesn't, he will never grow.
That is right.
He will be a pipeline all the time. He will be in rentals, strictly. He'll never own equipment. He will never hire people. He will be a lone ranger who has two hands only, and when he's not on his computer, no work goes on. When he's not in the field, no work goes on. Okay? Video and business, I'm here. Back at the studio, people are working. So you get the feeling. So Kapere has to learn business. Passion required.
Yes.
Hunger forces us all to wake up every day and go out and look for something to eat. But put them on the side for once. Okay? The stomach controls a lot of things.
Yes.
Don't forget that. But you have to think about growing. And growth happens when money exchanges hands and it is shared, and things have to make sense.
And I just feel like at a certain point in time, you have all these creative skills, but you also have to think about the fact that you're growing. I used to be so aggressive, like for the past 10 years. I just can't realize like I'm not aggressive as I used to be. Why? Because a lot of things have come in the picture. So it's very important.
The correct word is, as you grow, you will learn and unlearn certain things. It's just natural. So they should be ready for that. But also, I think from what he mentioned, the skill part, I would want to talk about the skill part. He said it's technical, which is very true. And it also requires for a starting person, it's something we've mentioned here before. We said before you even draw down, you know, the fine pieces of what you're putting in your costing, if it comes down to the art and the skilled people who do the art, if a client shows you a video and they say, I want you to achieve this, over time, I also had to learn and unlearn that it's not really necessary for you to start panicking. The guy is going to go away. They make a lot of those. These are common mistakes. The guy is going to go away, but then the business is going to go away. No. There is enough. Yes, there is enough for all of us. And there will even be enough for the rest of the guys. So stop panicking, slow down for a second, and get that video if you can. If you have people who you can share with and ask, okay, what do you see in this video? You need to start your own process of understanding the skill behind whatever craft has been made. When you understand, okay, there is a dolly, there is a jib, there is this, there is a cinematographer who can only pull this, there is a focus puller who can only do this, there is this kind of lighting. Then, like I said last time, get on the phone and call and you say, Josh, I've been told you are the person who can do X, Y, Z. How much is it? This is how we come to the cost. We've gone away from the rentals and the machines.
How much would you charge me to do graphics?
Exactly. Because you're wondering, how did Shafiq come to 30 million? One, they have borrowed the idea from Josh where I said specialize. Very important. You will not grow without specialization.
It's true.
It's a key. So once you learn that I need to specialize, you'll eventually find how these costs come. That when you specialize and you say, okay, I can't be behind the camera while speaking, while miking, while switching the board. Okay. So I need a director up there, and I need a cinematographer here. Then you ask the gentleman, and he tells you, my cost is 500K per day. So for 3 days, That's 1.5. That's how you find the costs that you are missing, that you are wondering as a startup that where did they get these costs from?
Yes, so I keep on hearing people saying like, you guys are very expensive and all that. And I keep on saying this.
But it's cheap.
Like, good work comes with a price. If you are looking for a proper crafted story that is going to be delivered on time with no excuses, whether you're funding, whether you want to promote your brand, we're the right guys for you. We do it like no one does. Our strength is so much in storytelling. Now, if you're looking for that kind of person, where you're going to give them your work and they say you're getting your work on Tuesday and you get it on Tuesday, vis-a-vis when you give someone work and say Tuesday, by the time it reaches Tuesday, their phones are off and you have a presentation as a client, then you choose.
Again, it's free entry, free exit. We're only here to advise whoever's watching. We're only here to advise. The only way you can actually grow in this business is have integrity.
Yes, that's true.
When you say Tuesday, it's Tuesday. When you say 5 working days, weekends are good for you. Maybe you have family and you have to take care of other things. Don't get into work. You need time to relax. But 5 days should be 5 working days. 10 working days should be 10 working days. Footage should never disappear. and if you've promised a RED camera, for those who don't know, RED is like a very good camera, very technical, but don't bring a different thing.
The beginning
so
camera.
the key thing to pick out from this conversation is integrity. It counts for a lot. Mean what you say. And whatever, like you said, like what you said earlier is if do not put prices that won't reflect the quality you're giving.
Yeah, it's true.
Otherwise,
You'll end up
you are pulling everyone down.
Yeah.
You are pulling Sean, me, him down. Everyone is going to say, Bagaiva video.
those guys. And
There's something actually on the same part.
Yeah.
I think we've based so much on our side, the client side. Something else we often forget while you're building all those items is saying, as you grow, I think you also need to learn about feedback for you to find your true value. Because ultimately, all this we are talking about is value for money.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah? But if you need to find where your value is, you need to also learn how to take feedback. I have a friend.
That's a difficult.
Yes, I know. We
Also-
forget
also-
it.
also for the
We
creative
forget
side.
it for the creatives.
Yes.
I have a friend who has ditched doing commercials. I asked him why. And he said, well, the issue is when you're deciding to do a commercial, Shafiq has brought a commercial I want to do for Kapere business. He gives you the idea, you call the specific guys, they give you a storyboard, they give you a storyline, and it looks, all fantastic. But the problem is, when you go to the realistic end of it, and you start shooting and everything, what comes out is completely different from what was planned. And then you get into the crosshairs where a client says, you nigga, I paid 100 million.
I think let's first take a break. We'll come back with more. We're going to be talking about other things. Then we'll be back.
What does it take to change the world? It takes a long chain of resilient men and women, endowed with various skill sets and divergent mindsets, holistically working together to achieve a common goal. It is a synergetic effect of different art forms combining into one to think, design, and create mind-blowing stories. A systematic workflow and processes from department to another. A set of professional tools and elements designed to create and fine-tune. It takes persistence, consistency, and collaboration to tell compelling stories, to evoke emotions, and to change the world. have designed a one-stopover center online with all the seasoned creatives from all the realms of the film industry. Together, we can. We are the Film Hackers. What does it take to change the world? It takes a long chain of resilient men and women, endowed with various skill sets and divergent mindsets, holistically working together to achieve a common goal. It is a synergetic effect of different art forms combining into one to think, design, and create mind-blowing stories. A systematic workflow and processes from department to another. A set of professional tools and elements designed to create and fine-tune. It takes persistence, consistency, and collaboration to tell compelling stories, to evoke emotions, and to change the world. We have designed a one-stopover center online with all the seasoned creatives from all the realms of the film industry. Together, we can. We are the Film Hackers.
Welcome back to the Film Hackers Talk Show. Today we're here to do a recap of the things that we talked about in season 1 and also to take feedback from you. What are some of the things that you'd like to be seeing, to be changed on the show? What are some of the things that you like to be discussed? If you have any topic that you like to us to discuss, or if you have individual filmmakers, people who are into content creation that you'd like to see on this platform, please let us know in the comments below. We'll be able to make it happen when we come back for season 2. And most importantly, we're here to make the industry better. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank Net Studio, Garage Group, Incredible Media for the work they've put in to produce over 12 episodes of amazing content that is not only just for watching, but that is transforming people's life out there. Thank you so much to Net Studio, Film Hackers, and Garage Group. So I want to come back to the panel. And I've talked about how to cost for TV commercials and documentaries and everything. Sean, you are an expert in TV. You've been in TV for quite a long time. For someone who wants to go into a TV series or a TV show, what are some of the things that they should look out? What are some of those particular things that they should put in their proposal before they even go out there to start recording?
Okay, for TV, unfortunate enough, you've brought out one of the things. I'm only going to pick out 3 key elements. There may be very many other things, but the 3 key elements I've always thought are very important. One of them is something you've mentioned, which is a proposal. Very many people don't really understand, and starting people don't understand a proposal. They often, when they go to the TV stations, they are asked to bring up a proposal and they don't understand it. But here is the logic behind a proposal. A proposal helps a TV manager or whoever is going to run, or even a sponsor, to understand, one, your story, your intention, because ultimately video is not just video. We are communicating.
Yeah.
If we are not communicating, then you probably will get lost somewhere. So your proposal allows me to understand what your intentions are, what you're trying to communicate, and how far it can possibly go, which then brings in two other aspects. One is for us to execute your proposal, what is the budget? You need to understand that a budget is important. Most people don't want to work with a budget. They think we'll go as we go. But remember what he said, it's a business at the end of the day. So if you don't put that aspect in, you will likely burn your whole crew on set and no one has gained out of it.
Yeah.
All
People
in the name of...
will not turn up.
Exactly. And probably if your message is a longer one, you will not even have extended or moved the message out. So you need to have a budget, and if you are at an advanced level, you need to have what you call a bankable plan. And why do I say a bankable plan? Or what's a bankable plan? A bankable plan is for you to know that in my proposal, attached with a budget, is going to be how do I sustain season 1, season 2, season 3. Seasons are what run series. Because for TV shows, you may not have, I don't know if people still do 45 minutes of a documentary or something, or 60. For TV, because of the nature of how it runs with airtime, you want to split your messages into small bits, and many other reasons why they split them. So you want to know that I'm going to run the first 15 minutes or 10 minutes or 30 minutes today and every other Friday of the week. And then seasons will definitely take about, some people will do 10, some people will do 8, some people will do 13. So you have to put in mind of how do I sustain the 10 episodes. That's why I called it a bankable plan. That each episode is going to cost me 4.5 million or 5 million. So trickle that against 10 episodes, and you will know that I actually need a plan that sustains this. Now, why is it important to have a bankable plan? Is that once you're done with that, you come to the third thing called financing. So you need to know, how am I going to finance this? You either have you're one of the rich kids who has the money at the back of you, or you are going to ask for a partnership. Some people ask for a partnership with a person who can finance them. Could be a bank. You could walk into the TV station and say, I want to partner with you and run this content. And remember, why I said you have to have a proposal is because they will ask you for a proposal to see if it's something they want. Every TV station is set in a different niche. You can't take a very high-end UK accent Luzungu without translations, without subtitles to a Bukede station. So that all those things are mitigated in the proposal initially. Yeah? So if Bukede, let's say, TV Kapere wants to fund you and they say, fine, then they will have looked at your proposal. They look at the bankable plan. The bankable plan, if you need to go to the bank or something, then you will come to that. And that brings me to the fourth, which is sponsorship, really. It's part of financing, but I've seen in our current setting in Uganda, it's something that is very key. And I think it's where I would want to spend a little bit more time. So in trying to sustain an episode, let's use the benchmark for Kapere wants to do a Kapere series and is costed each episode at 5 million. 5 times 10, you see he's going to need 50, but the guy doesn't have the money. He probably has the equipment, he doesn't have the money to sustain all those, and he needs the sponsorship. So there are basically about 3 ways. You could partner with a TV station and you agree on revenue share, where you say a TV station is going to agree to take a percentage when they bring in the sponsor or when you bring in the sponsor. That works perfectly well for you. The other option is for you to walk into a company. Let's call a company John. And you say, John, I have a proposal for, again, I'm coming back to proposal. I want to do a series. Now, the 2 things here that are usually very different, and we have advised on this set before, I think we should avoid a scenario where you go and shoot a 10-episode series and you walk to John, because then you may have a proper disconnect. John wants to push for mobile data. You've brought a Kasoli data. So you have a proper disconnect. So the sponsorship has to be something you need to be very careful about if you're going to trade into it. Version 1 is, if you can, first study the environment where you want to send your message. And why I say this is because it will help you with things to do with how are they, at the end of the day, your sponsor also has a need. Sometimes they want to advertise. So it will leverage and give you a space of how they are going to advertise. The current setting we have is that sport ads, or what you see as a Kalango, normal Kalango on TV, is weighing low. It's not as much as it used to be, but there are things to do with product placement. So if you walk to John and you've already shot your 10 episodes, and John says, for me to run your series, I want to put my product somewhere there in the corner or here, but you've already branded everything. You see, you're losing out on money at that stage. You don't know what to do. So I think Josh used to say, take the toes first and see how the water feels. Yes. Figure out where your story is going to be from the proposal. If it is sponsorship and you can deal with a guy and you've done, let's say, your demo, most times they will ask you for TVs, they will ask you for a demo. And people ask me, they've asked me this question a lot. Why? So you mean I have to first do a demo? Because from the first word go when they enter the TV station, they ask for, bring a proposal and a demo. And I'm like, a demo? Now, a demo is not a bad thing, guys. It's not a bad thing. It actually helps me in the TV station to understand your capability as well. Every TV station has a standard. You may bring a standard that fits for Kapere TV but doesn't fit for John TV. So you need to be where they're asking you for a demo is. And like all businesses, you have to start somewhere. I know you feel it as a risk, but you have to move. You have to put your toes somewhere in the water if you're going to swim.
Speaking about businesses, Josh, I would like to ask you, what advice do you have for people who are in need of videos out there as clients? What are the things that they should look for? And most importantly, how do they get the right people?
Before I answer your question, Shafiq, there's something he has said that's interesting. It just got like, I feel like people in television, people want to enter into television need to know this. There's investment. And the only realistic investment you can make is a pilot. If you're going for a TV show that has like that has series, you need that one pilot. That one pilot is going to help you determine one, your quality. You're not speaking on paper, and two, your price. It will help you determine. That's one unit. If you know the cost of a unit, you can multiply. Then you avoid all other things of post-production, product placement. You understand where the Mountain Dew can't fit in because you didn't plan it, but you've sold the idea. So your one pilot is going to help the industry people, the TV people, know that this is a bankable idea, let's take it or not. It will also help you not to put a lot of money because you're not sure. And also, yes, and also it's very difficult to sell a TV show on paper in Kampala.
Yeah,
it happens in Nairobi, it happens all other markets. Yes. But in Uganda, selling a show on paper, you need to have magic. Yeah, you need to have some kind of magic.
Or you need to have like a proper profile that is backing up, like your past work. Like these are the TV shows that I've worked on. This is the kind of work. This is my quality.
In which case, those TV shows you've worked on act as a pilot, literally.
Okay. You imagine you Kapere Productions. You are the TV station. Would you actually fund a TV show that has no pilot?
No.
Okay.
I mean, if you're the guy giving out the money,
exactly.
Would you give that money? No, of course not.
Even if it's little, by the way, even if it's 500K an episode.
Yeah.
Okay? Yes. If it's 1 billion shillings, In business terms, you take off 1K every day, not replacing it.
Can't get back to one.
Exactly. So I think we should learn, these people need to learn from the business, how it's done outside, you know. They have a season or a time in television where they go for bidding on pilots. Okay? So they pick out these things like, we shall take this show, we shall take this show, we shall take the other show. So we need to listen to behind the scenes people of these great shows. There's a show on Netflix that I really like now. It's called Emily in Paris. But you see, it's nice, but you have to understand the process. How does it end up on TV? It begins with one pilot. That is one unit, fully costed. So when you walk into the boardroom,
you know exactly how much it's going to cost.
Exactly. There's not exactly, but there's an estimate. Exactly. You have a feel. You're not gambling. Yeah. Now that one unit, that is your investment.
And I think on the other side, Josh, I also feel like you need to have a marketing person. They have different names. Some call them strategists, some call them business developers, some call them marketeers. That you find that in the hierarchy of film, we have producers, directors, and everything, all that kind of sort. But there is always that guy that you need in that company who understands business. He may not even know how to do graphics, edits, and everything, but what he knows are numbers. When the two creative people like you sit together and start a company, and you don't have that business person, trust me, it's really hard. Because you'll be looking at, oh my God, look at that drone shot, it looks amazing. Look, that shot is good, man. Look at that graphics. I mean, look at that graphics, it's dope. But at the end of the day, if you cannot quantify that into cash, I mean, you keep on doing it, and at one point you wake up in the morning and you're frustrated. Then you go and do something else.
It's a question, but I don't want to ask that question here.
No, please.
The question, and okay, for the record, I don't think it's one business guy. I think it goes back to something we discussed, which was specialization. You need to learn specialization. And I think for the guys who are wondering why, I've seen a lot of people do it here. They want to write and also direct and also do X, Y, Z. The guy behind Game of Thrones, does he do film?
No, he doesn't.
He only writes the story.
Yes.
He was only privileged to be on the set because he wanted to make sure that he delivers. But he understands the story, and the guys who film and direct the storyline are totally different people. So that specialization for all those have to happen. However, there is a question that someone would ask out there. If I am Shafiq and I am a creative, Josh is my friend. He doesn't probably know how to hold a camera. Can I call him in as the business guy? He understands numbers. That's a strong question. And many of these young guys will ask that question.
Can I answer that?
Yes, please.
Please do.
Do business with people you can disagree with. Yes.
Why?
Because they always have a different perspective.
Yes.
That's what you need to grow.
You don't need a yes person.
Zero.
On the team.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that.
Say like, Josh, you're refusing that work. It is 5 million, but we've not yet paid your car, and salaries are due. So as a creative person, you'd be like, no. We're not going to do that work.
So I've answered it.
Yeah.
So do business with people you disagree with.
Yeah. That is, to add on to it, I think also do business with someone who is not just the numbers, but has the passion to understand what this craft is about. Like you say, there is a danger behind us of the technical skilling. And if someone wants to treat your business like a Kapere's Kafunda shop, there's also a danger. I want him to have the numbers, but you also need him, even if he has never learned about video, he should have the capacity to sit down and analyze and say, okay, Josh is an editor. If I'm paying Josh to edit in a single day, his requirements are X, Y, or his salary is X, Y, Z. For us, that's how we do it. If I'm sending someone on set, and you want to take him as a client, I get his salary, we'll slash it by the number of days, and I know how much you need to pay him per single day. So that he doesn't just get to the boardroom and charge. You understand? Because then you risk undercharging or overcharging. But in his,
There's many ways to go about it, but I think the most traveled path of production and business is have a position. And as a video production house, you will not do every production. Okay? Your quality, your delivery times determine a lot of things. Yeah, even if you're going to earn 5M of a project and that 5M is not bringing salaries for this month, maybe there's something it is bringing. Okay? You have to have a direction you're going. And you're not to grow in so many ways at once. You understand? You either grow your business arm or your artistic arm. But
You can't have them
moving them at
together.
the same time, it's a process.
It's a process.
It's a process.
And it's a painful process.
Exactly. And going back to your question of how do I charge or how do I determine what video, what cost someone might have.
And the question was,
Yeah.
the clients that are coming to do business for their business.
Not videos for their business.
Yes.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that they should look out? Yes. In terms of who is professional, what they've done, what are those things that you know, okay, this guy is asking for all this money, but why? What are those key indicators?
First I said video production is like farming. Your next work comes from your previous work.
Yes.
Okay? So the first thing a business owner has to ask me is, what work have you done?
Before.
Give me your show reel. We call it a show reel for those who don't know. Show reel, yeah.
The kind of work that you
But it's no longer real these days. It's just a soft copy. Yeah, it's just a soft copy of work you've done.
Yeah.
It should be WhatsAppable. It should be emailable. It is short. It has all the nice things put together in a nice way.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing a business person or someone who wants to work with me should ask. And when that is done, the next thing is coming from me. I ask them, what do you want? That's why they give me a brief. Now, most companies don't have briefs, like a creative brief.
Yeah, sure.
So I ask them, okay, do you have like a marketing plan? If they have a marketing plan, that's good. That means they know what they want. Okay? They know we are at awareness stage or consideration or decision. Or we are past decision. We are now doing after sales content, like how to assemble this thing. When you've bought it, this is how you do it. They'll need those videos. So when that marketing plan is presented to me, I ask, okay, which stage are you and where are you going? So that's where you start from. And everything goes back to the three things: quality, time, cost.
And cost.
Okay? That's where everything goes back to. But for what it's worth, in like my video in business, I charge the process. That is how one video is not going to be the same price as the next video. The process.
Of crafting.
Exactly. Of crafting your message to fit into your marketing stages.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes. So I'd like to get some feedback. These are some of the questions that have been asked to directly inbox of Film Hackers. I have a small company. Every time I try to bid for work, they ask me for things I don't even know about. How can I do? They ask me for tax clearances, TIN number, PPDA, among other things. What do I do about that? I don't know.
That is now, let's use the example of Kapere.
Yes, yes.
Kapere has to understand that this country is owned by Tata Muhoozi.
Yes.
Okay? And he needs taxes. He needs his he needs his cut for you to have the security you have.
Yes.
Otherwise, when you're filming at night and you're going from Arua to Kampala and there's no security,
you have problems.
okay? So always know the area you're operating in.
And
okay?
I think I would like
And,
also...
before you go, so when you know the area you're operating in, you know that there are taxes to be paid. So please understand the business side of things. Before you think drones, cameras, everything, understand that you are running a business and the people you're operating with, the people you're doing work for, they're registered businesses somewhere.
Yes.
They have to pay taxes, okay? And there's now e-invoicing. I don't know if you've heard of it. Yeah, it's coming, guys. Production guys, it's coming. Yeah, the e-invoicing. So you have to have a knowledge and a big one at that to conduct your business in this area. Okay, so if you are PPDA is basically public disposal, whatever assets, whatever it is. Yeah, it is to do with government. Okay?
It's actually it's a system that vets suppliers to the government.
Exactly.
And
So
you have to be registered.
you will not be paid
Yes,
for doing work for a government entity if you're not registered
in the PPDA system.
in the PPDA system.
Yes.
You understand? So you take time and learn all these things one by one. It will take you mostly a week, you know, a week. And there are people who are doing this paperwork. If you go to Georgia House, is it Georgia House? URSB?
Yes.
Yes, and URSB has a website. All these things are there. What you actually need to transact as a company or a production company. Yeah.
So, Sean, you have
Just
something?
to add to the same, I think it's something that we also noticed when we were starting out. Unfortunately for the guys who are starting out, it's not as easy as it was. But the point was, when we started out, many businesses started out as what we call briefcase business.
It's a
So,
good to start.
yeah, it's actually, I'm coming to the same point. I'm going.
There's someone who said that, you know, formalizing business in Uganda means you're inviting a lot of singing around your business. So he advised the first way to do it is soko chikube for 10 years.
I don't know. Unfortunately, for the guys starting out now, it may not be. You may not have the longevity that we had.
It's not even possible.
Some people, yes, it is still possible, but
If you're working
From your bedroom. And
Yeah.
I think let me just put more light on that. If you're looking for like cartoon money, from let's say from 500 to like 3 million, around there. From 500 shillings to let's say for like 1 million. Yes, that's cartoon money. It's kawa. When you start dealing with big corporations and big companies, they're going to ask for TIN numbers. You'll have to get money on a company account, to be clear, not on a personal account. But if your company is called X, the company account has to be in names of X. Then you need tax clearances, you need NSSF registration, because when you're bidding for these gigs, they're going to ask you, give us audited books of your past 3 years. Then you have to be registered with PPDA, you have to have tax certification that shows that you've paid for annual returns, and when your company, like you've made money, you have to file for annual returns at the end of the year. So without, yes, even when you've not made, you have to declare. So all those things put together. Remember, when you open up a company, you have to register and get a TIN number. That is one. Two, when the year ends, you have to file for your annual return. That is second. Third, you have to register for NSSF. Fourth, you have to be registered in PPDA if you're going to get any work from the government. Any transaction between 1 million to 5 million that is going to go to procurement, they have to sit with the board. Above 5 million, they have to sit with the board. You never get that money cash, it will go to your account directly. So it becomes so hard to start dealing with the big companies. Why? Because they have proper systems in place and you have to follow them. They can't go down to feel sorry for you. You just have to catch up with the game.
I wanted to say, I want to give a small relief idea. It's something I learned also recently. For guys, the process that I have seen that I think can work and can give you a vision of what to do is that the starting stage is usually a briefcase, the one you've described.
Yeah.
As you get out of the briefcase, you must learn that you must go higher. I call it legal, for lack of a better word. You must legalize your business. And that's where the PPDA, the tax come in. The logic is, what you have explained partly, is that you may never be able to access 100 million of a job if you're not legal.
Yeah.
Because the companies, the other side, who are able to give you that amount of money are legal. They pay taxes. So the transaction, I don't think we're going to go into taxes. The transaction between you and that company requires a tax.
Because it creates
Exactly, and that's the only way you'll go. So my process I've always thought about, and my advice would be, you can start briefcase. Unfortunately, it won't be long, but the reason why I would actually say start briefcase is so that you can learn. You can understand, call an auditor, an accountant to teach you what will happen so that you don't get in and get bombarded and you hate the job and run out. Then you will advance to the next stage, which allows you more money. Now, by default, taxes are not very friendly, even to the wealthy.
Yeah.
So my advice would be, when you go higher, try to find a way to create, I call it a war chest, a space where you can have savings from your business that allows you to invest money somewhere else, which is a tax-free environment. You can learn about those. And that way, if you've done 20 years of Kapere video,
Invest in Cayman Islands.
Okay.
Tax-free. What's a tax-free business?
There are a number of tax-free. No, not music. I'll give you a good example. Most of the retirement settings are not the same tax amount as the ones that are in the businesses. So for instance, if you're saving money in a retirement scheme, UBRA, NSSF, it is less taxed compared. Have they taxed NSSF yet? I don't think. Oh, they are planning to. They are planning to. So the tax at that stage is lower. I don't know about real estate. I don't know if it has gone to that stage. But you always find there are things that have a lower tax rate. Yes. There are things that are lower compared to, so that you know that you can always bank on that. We don't want to see you run 20 years of, and you say all your money was... Yeah, you also need to have a plan. Yeah, continue.
So I have another question. I'm an upcoming actress. How do I make it to the top, and how do I get casted? Most importantly, I see very many Ugandans having the same actors and actresses in every show I see on TV. Why that? And how can I become a global star? I think I'll have to answer that. Yeah, you can also.
I will say, come, I cast you. Go ahead.
They come and ask you.
For me, it's very simple. If you want business in showbiz, one, you have to show the world that you exist. That technology of you showing us that you exist is in your hands. Okay? Go on TikTok, look at videos of actors, your favorite actors or actresses, reenact. It can be 1 minute, 2 minutes. Do it consistently for 6 months or 1 year. You'll be visible. You'll be visible. So, one, remember, for you to get business, you have to show the business world that you exist. The tool is in your hands. It's a smartphone. Whatever you're doing, do so much of that. Repeat. Repeat. Post. Get serious. You'll be casted.
But yeah, sure.
Like he says, show up. Show up. I'll give you 3 examples of people I have dealt with. When Malaika first came to me, Nyanzi, someone had told me about a young lady who could, have skill. A Ugandan typical setting, the day I had given to meet Malaika was on a shoot for Skizzy. That day it rained. It rained at about midday. In my head, a typical Ugandan setting, the person would never show up. Yeah? She actually showed up in the rain with a small umbrella. And I was impressed. Another scenario, Linda Den, we asked for auditions. We sent out requests. Among the videos, Linda's video came up. I've been told about her, but I had never seen her. But you see, me looking at, this young girl and the way she expresses, show up. I mean, she was at a TV station by then. Had she? No, I think she had left. But the thing is, irrespective of whatever, take every opportunity. Stop this question of what if they don't take me, what if. Forget. Show up. If you show up at Shafiki's place, his place, my place, his place, his place, somehow these things will always find a way to pick.
To pick you up. Yeah. I think on my side, I would just talk about that for the actors, whether you're getting into the industry, whether you're just in the industry now. One, I think it's very important for those that are existing in the industry to find managers or agents that are going to push you as a brand. Very many times we see people leaving Uganda to go out there and do work. It's not by accident that Abe Muchibi appears on all blockbusters in Uganda. It's not by accident. Why? By the time the crew comes here to shoot, already the agent has already discussed what their cut and everything. Yes.
Let's be realistic.
Yeah.
Do we have casting agents here?
There are people. Of course they have money. We have casting agencies.
Okay. Are they the international?
They are not international. Yes.
Like, can they link you up to international gigs?
Some can, some can't.
Yes.
Exactly. So now they have to come out on Film Hackers here and give us this information that we are Kapere casting agents, or agents. We take you to Hollywood, we take you to Bollywood, we take you to Nollywood, we take you to neighboring countries here. So to work with us. I think they should come out. Can you have them on the show?
I think we're going to have them in season 2.
Yeah, because
the people that I know that
because even Abe Muchibi himself might not be in position to tell you that I work with these people.
And you see, it is very interesting.
He might protect his area. So
let me give you a list of people that are managed by international agents, but you can't even know. But the next thing you know, they're in Dubai hosting an event, or they're somewhere hosting something big. I'll start with Gaetano Kagwa. There is Gaetano Kagwa, there is Anne Kansime, there is Brian Mlondo, there is Sheila Gashumba, there is all those big, what's her name? Anita Fabiola, all those big celebrities that you see traveling over the world, they have agents that negotiate for them everything, and this is why you keep on seeing them. So already they've positioned themselves, like you said, on social media, but at the same time, they have agents that keep on pushing. You see Fabiola or Malaika hosting an event in Dubai. It's not by accident. They have agents. And this information is not shared because when you look at all our TV setup, it's local content here. It's only Pearl Magic. I don't even know if it shows in East African country.
I thank Film Hackers for happening, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, it's a brilliant idea.
Thank you.
Because everything we are talking about is about, or goes around information.
Yes.
Lack of information.
Yeah.
Lack of information, lack of confidence, lack of so many other things. But at the top, it's information.
Yeah.
We have very few people who want to give information for free.
Yeah.
You know?
But information is for public consumption. If you don't give it out, someone else will. Please continue.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Most of the problems in the art sector are around lack of information.
True.
But there's a lot of information, like on the internet. But tell me, when was the last time you checked page 7 of your Google search?
I don't even remember.
Yes, there's so much information, but it is also causing a lot of laziness. Because you've Googled a tutorial and you've seen it like, I watch it later. But remember the first time you got introduction to biology? It was the only book in the classroom.
Yes.
You had to read it now, or it goes. It goes back with the owner. So guys out there, I don't know, I urge you, don't get lazy with the information you have. If you need something, be very specific, Google it, pick it up, read it, you know, as in swallow it there and then. Otherwise, if you're going to do the same kind of, I don't know, actions around redundant information. So if information is too much, it becomes redundant. So why are we discussing things that are out there on the internet? People are not using the internet the way it's supposed to be used. That's what really hurts me. So this platform, I thank you for it, because now we can actually disseminate information and experiences, you know? Exactly. So for an actor, really, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram,
Twitter.
Twitter not so good on videos, but yeah, you know. Yeah, I'm sure.
By the way, ask
Do your own training before you are trained.
these guys ask for auditions all the time. A brands has come, they call for auditions.
So I start with you, Josh. What's your parting shot?
Parting shot.
Like that one thing that you like to put to the audience out there.
If my audience is watching, there are people who need videos in business.
Yes.
So please, my parting shot is an advert. I'm Josh the Fixer, also called Joshua Mwesigwa, government names. I'm the founder, Video in Business. Please contact me. Video is VIDIYO in business. Communicate better using video for your business.
Thank you so much, Josh.
Yes.
Sean, what's your advice to the young people out there and to the people in the industry?
My advice is simple. It's a good trade. It's a good industry. Take the time to learn. Understand it better. Make the hell of that money out of it. But interestingly, love your passion, because you will never feel a pinch of it.
All right. Thank you so much. That brings us to the end of the show. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Net Studio for collaborating with us to do this show. It's been an amazing experience working on over 12 episodes. It's been a great time, guys. Thank you so much. This place here, you can literally do anything with it. It's for hire. You can come in. If you have any concept, any idea, you can hire it out and shoot your stuff and produce it. We've been able to shoot these 12 episodes live, and it's fully equipped, as you see in the video that is going to be played after the show. I'd like to take this opportunity to appeal to the actors out there. Please invest in yourself in terms of social media, in terms of script reading. Today, you're just an actor, but tomorrow you're going to wake up and you're a brand ambassador. You have to be able to speak out there and to equip yourself with knowledge. For the young people that are coming in the industry, please be patient and know that who's given you little money is not the end of the day. There are so many opportunities out there. I sincerely believe that saying no to work will get you more work. Thank you so much. It's been a very wonderful time with you on the panel, Josh the Fixer, Sean, and me, myself. Thank you so much for watching. See you in season 2.